What's up, everybody? My name is Blake Reed Evans, and I'm a Redken artist. We're coming at you live from the Redken Exchange. We're right here in Studio 404, which is our content creator studio here for social media in Fifth Avenue in New York City. We are so excited today to bring you cool fashion from Color Fusion. We're here in the middle of the coolest week ever. Yesterday, my friend Julie Lar showed you gorgeous blondes. Today, we are talking about redheads. How do you get your redheads to be cooler than ever? You know, some of the cool things about cool fashion is that it stays cool for 8 weeks. 8 weeks, so clients, listen up. That means that you don't have to worry about brassiness. Guests or hairdressers, you don't have to worry about your guests calling back for redos ever. And we're talking about 14 shades, brand new to the Color Fusion line that's celebrating its 20th anniversary this year. What's really beautiful is it gives multi-dimensional results with cool reflex. So it's a different flavor that Color Fusion's never seen before. And we're gonna be able to kick brass. It's gonna mute warm tones, and it's gonna add more depth. Because that's a key thing for redheads, is that they need depth at the scalp and brightness on the end. So we're gonna show you a root extension technique that's gonna be able to kick the brass in the root area so we can leave the ends nice and bright. So we're gonna come through, and I'm working with the 5CB flavor from Cool Fashion. And we mix this with 10 volume because you'll see in a little bit, we have a model named Julia. And Julia is a natural redhead. So the 10 volume is really key in this portion. And you know, typically on natural redheads, when I do a root extension, permanent color typically isn't my first option. However, with the new Cool Fashion shades, because it's able to mute warm undertones, I'm actually able to avoid hot roots completely, which we know is a huge issue whenever it comes to working with natural redheads. So we're coming through, and to begin the root extension technique, we are going to start right on the part line, and we're going to feather out. So the brush that I'm choosing to use to start this technique is the long, wide bristle Redken color brush. The reason why is because it can hold a lot of product, so we can begin our root extension. And we're going to begin right on the part line because we know that that is the most important thing for our clients behind the chair. And we're going to flick the wrist a little bit to be able to get the product saturated. And to stay clean, we're just gonna work in 4 quadrants. So we're gonna separate it a little bit. But the most exciting thing about this particular technique, and just for time's sake, we'll do this little triangle right here. Redken recently launched a tool called the edging brush. So the edging brush is actually able to create diffused lines with hair color. So now that we applied the color in zone 1, we're going to be able to go through and create heavy saturation right in zone 1. And then we're going to follow up with the edging brush. This edging brush is a tool that's going to be able to create beautiful blends and blurs. So we're going to actually come through at a 45-degree angle vertically, and we're going to help diffuse the lines to keep it soft. And to keep it working and to keep it simple, instead of worrying about folding foils, you're going to take your foil and you're going to place it right up to the part line, and you're going to keep working. Because when it comes to redheads, it's so important to make sure that we do not get the dreaded hot roots. And hot roots, we all know, is whenever the root area is way brighter than the ends of the hair, and it's something that is one of the most complained about things whenever it comes to redheads. So we can avoid that by using a color line like Cool Fashion because it's going to keep it nice and cool. The shade that we're using is the 5CB and 10 volume. So we're going to go through, and to be able to create this nice and diffused line, we're going to be able to take our brush and do long strokes on every other foil. So we're going to continue to work up here, and we're going to take another section. It's important to be able to get full saturation in the zone 1 area to make sure that you can enjoy all of the benefits that Cool Fashion has to offer. If you don't have enough saturation, then you could sacrifice some of the cool tones to it. So because we dropped lower in that last foil, we're actually not going to drop down as much. So you can actually take the edging brush and you can come in horizontally, and with just a little flick of the wrist, you'll be able to diffuse the line. So what's really cool about this is on Julia, because we wanted to maintain some of her beautiful color on the ends, we did this root extension technique, and then we went through and we actually followed up with our Shades EQ cream because we wanted to preserve the ends. Also, we're going to be following the Redken color mantra, meaning we'll do alkaline color in zone 1 with pH bonder, and then we're going to follow with zones 2 and 3 with an acidic color using pH bonder in every single formula. So after we did this technique all over the entire hair on Julia, we pulled the foils out, and then if we had a Shades EQ formula, we would just go through and refresh like normal because your lines are already diffused, so the job's already done. So now are you guys ready to see it live in person? I know we're ready. So we're coming over here to our gorgeous model, Julia. And Julia and I were talking in the consultation, and she was saying that she wants to get closer to her natural color. She was recently brought to a very vibrant red. What's really exciting is to see how much depth there is in her root area, and you can see where the root extension really did us a beautiful favor. So as we work through, you can see how saturated and how beautiful the red is. And then we just followed through the ends of her hair with 07 GC from Shades EQ Cream and 10 Volume and pH Bonder to help create a beautiful refresh, to help mute some of those tones, but also to keep some of the multi-dimension and shine, because as we know in our color mantra, using acidic color on the ends is so important. But take a look at how rich and how beautiful her zone 1 is, and that is exactly how you can solve problems for redheads. So clients, listen up. If you are a redhead that's sitting there and you're like, my roots are lighter than they are on the ends, you need to head straight to a Redken salon and check out and ask for a cool fashion color service with your colorist and stylist. Be sure to head to your local Redken distributor to be able to find the product because it's coming to you soon. So Cool Fashion Week, the coolest week ever, is still continuing. My really good friend Ryan Morgan, he is coming in on Thursday at 3 o'clock live with a brunette because we had a great party this week with the coolest week ever. We started with a blonde, now we have a beautiful redhead Julia, and next week or later this week you're going to be able to see Ryan Morgan at Thursday at 3 o'clock, so be sure to tune in. Thank you.